show. It's a bit of a weird setup today because usually I haven't been streaming for like 2 hours or however long I've been on. So bear with. Let me just try and figure out what I'm going to do with myself. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, turn this down a little bit. All right, first things first. Welcome everybody, welcome to Foot Culture. My name is Tanya Vital, I am the host. I'm an actor from the north of England. I've been doing it about 20 years. Today's my birthday, fucking hell, I'm old. Let me know if you can hear me. Do a Q&A in the future as well, please. Yeah, just hit me up with any suggestions you've got for the show in the chat, or email me. I'll send you I think my emails. I'll send you my email in the chat in a bit. This part of the show is called Foot Culture. It is for the culture, but where we live, we don't pronounce the. We just pronounce the T. So for the culture becomes Foot Culture. It's an arts and culture showcase. We've got who we've got tonight? We've got Bree Music. We've got Justina Aina. We've got who else we've got? We've got Shakara Ahad. Oh, that's what we've got. I forgot. Shit. Thank you so much for the birthday wish. Thank you. All right. So those of you who were with us last week and saw the Kathleen Cleaver piece that I wanted to put together, but I was rushing and I was having troubles and we didn't get it right. Well, we've got it right now. So you thought you were going to get away with it. You're not getting away with it. You're watching it again and you're watching it how it should be watched. So another artist is Tanya Vital. All right. Let's get Wesley Charles as well. So Wesley Charles performed last week. But I just love his comedy pieces that he does on Boris. And yeah, before we get into that, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Because this is kind of the political section of the show for me. I mean, art is political no matter what anybody tells you. What the fuck was going on in central London last week with those fucking heathens? You know, Black Lives Matter are protesting and trying to raise awareness for equality in people's lives. And then you've got those see you next Tuesdays pissing on memorials, fighting the police, throwing... Can you imagine if Black Lives Matter protesters threw flash grenades at the police? Can you imagine the hell? They'd be dropping atomic bombs on us. Did you see in the paper? Far-right thugs in London. Yep. Far-right thugs everywhere. Everywhere. It's been growing and growing, and people have been saying it, and people have been like, oh no, you're exaggerating. Well, I think it was on a full show for us last week. Exactly where we're going in this country. Did you see the picture of the Gangs Unite guy, the youth worker guy who picked up the racist far right guy and was carrying him to safety? Have you seen the news report today? He's an ex-copper. That guy, the far right racist guy who got attacked, who the black guy saved, was a copper, a detective. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Oh no, it's not the only thing I'm going to say on it. Do you know what I'm going to say on it? You know in America where the KKK infiltrated the police force? It's like that same thing, you know, what's that saying? Why do you never see Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same room? Murderer. Welcome Nocturnal, I appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. Anyway, that's the political bit there for that bit, and we're going to move on to our first artist, which is Wesley Charles. I'm going to turn this music off because it is too loud. Okay, so we've got Wesley Charles. Where is he? His first piece is, I think it's Boris. Is it Boris? Let's have a look. Oh, we'll see.
So please do remember that these historical monuments are public property. anybody found to be defacing them shall be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Is that all right? Spiffing. Thank you. What a day. Winnie, what am I to do?
You shall never surrender.
Winnie? You wouldn't believe some of the things that people are saying about you. They're saying you said that you hate Indians, that they're a beastly people with a beastly religion. What nonsense.
Well, I did say that, you bloody nincompoop.
Okay, well, what about this? Some nonsense about you forcing 150,000 Kenyans into concentration camps. I mean, please.
Well, this is slightly awkward. I may have done a little bit of that. Yes.
Oh, really? Well, some left-wing rag was talking some poppycock that you...
Let's just save a little bit of time, okay, you bloody nincompoop. I probably did it.
Oh. Bugger. Winnie.
But don't be sad, Bozza. Do you want me to do surrender for you in my funny voice? Surrender. Surrender. Surrender.
Not now, Winnie. Not today. Who am I? Can I ignore what's right in front of me? The truth about my sweet Winnie. This man that I so long adored looks different than he did before. Who am I? Did I idolize a racist man? As a boy, I was your greatest fan. Each year, my mummy, she would bake my Winston Churchill birthday cake. Must I lie? Should I tear that statue down today? Winnie, please, don't look at me that way. You know I can't resist those eyes. They make me go all soft inside. You gave me hope when hope was gone. You gave me strength to journey on. Who am I? Who am I? I'm Boris Johnson! Thank you, Winnie.
Welcome back, guys. You had to go get lunch, so you had to wait till Kerching was over. No worries. Thank you so much to the 2 new followers. Croissant, I see you, girl. Thank you so much, helping me get to affiliate before midnight. So that was Wesley Charles, and Boris has an existential crisis. We've got another one from Wesley Charles, and I think it's called Trump Calls Boris. So here it's Wesley Charles again with Trump Calls Boris.
Excuse me, okay? Excuse me, Melania, all right? You're being rude. Excuse me, okay? I always flush the toilet. I always flush. I'm the greatest flusher, okay? You're being rude. You're fake news. You're being fake news, all right? I've got to make a phone call. Excuse me. Okay? Hello. Boris, how are things? Very well. And how is your, as it were, response going to the pandemic over there? Our response is fabulous, okay? It's the greatest response in the world. It's the #1 response. Better than all the other countries combined, okay? It's a great response. It's a beautiful response. That is most encouraging to hear, Donald. Thank you. And I understand congratulations are in order. Oh, yes, that's quite right. I have my 17th, as it were, child on the way. It's fantastic. Yes, that's just between me and you, of course. Of course. Now we need to talk about how we're going to deal with this movement. Indeed. What is it called? What is the matter with black people? Quite. No, I believe it's called Black Lives Matter. Okay, yeah, whatever. I thought this would be a terrific opportunity for us to work together. Yes. See if we can figure out a way
Donald, I think you're spot on.
to blame China.
Oh, well, I don't see why not.
Unless you have any other suggestions.
Well, it has been suggested to me that we could reduce the amount of racial profiling in law enforcement.
That's very funny.
Thank you.
But seriously, any other ideas?
Well, most importantly, I think above all else, we must ensure that we are robust in our...
Robots.
Yes, that's right. If we are robust, then we...
Tiny little robots.
Donald?
I think that's a great idea. I'll speak to Elon.
No, Donald, I think you may have misunderstood.
Thank you, Boris. You're a great man, okay? You're a great man. I have to go now. Thank you very much, all right? Come in.
Mr. President, I'm afraid your wife, Melania, has filed for divorce.
Excuse me, all right? You're fake news.
So that was Wesley Charles, and Trump calls Boris. Ed saying E2DBFD, one of my oldest homeboys, is saying Beavis and Butthead. He's so good with it. Like the way he impersonates people is so funny. So big up Wesley Charles. Again, if you're new to the show, I know we've got a lot of new watchers or new followers tonight. If you're new to the show, you will see a piece, and next to the piece there will be the artist's socials. We've got PayPal there. We normally digitally busk, so what that means is that we ask people to tip the artists because the show is no longer funded. We're doing it all off my own back. So please tip the artists if you can. We suggest buying them a coffee, £3, but we know a lot of people are still out of work. So if you can't donate £3, £1 or 50 pence, and if you really can't do that, I completely understand. No tea, no shade. All we ask is that you follow the artists' socials, try and share their work, subscribe to them on YouTube, help them monetize their channels that way. It's free for you, but it really helps artists out. And once we get back to normality, if we do, please go and see their work. It's the least we can do for a free show. Okay, so moving on to our next artist. All right, so this next piece is it's actually written and directed by Justina Aina, an actor. She's actually from London, but she's a Manchester lass now, so it still comes under part at North. She's still Northern now. So she's written a piece. Sorry, I just need to sort out my little thing. I think it's called The Final Interview. It's performed by Misha Ade, I believe. Misha, I hope I've said your name right. So the first piece is by Justina, performed by Misha.
James, you're finished. I will be talking about the app. I will tell the story of talking to my friends, colleagues, and family about our needs. I'll be letting the country know about how I came up with the idea for the database of hairstylists around the country. I will be telling Ortega that I was the one who sat perfecting every sodding detail with the UI designer for months. That will be me. I'm letting you know here and now, before we go live with that woman, that you're finished with all these tactics you've been moving with these last few years. You can choose to sit next to me out there or not. I don't give a good goddamn, but we'll both be damn sure that you'll not be passing any more concepts connected to my project off as your own. I will talk over you to the ends of the earth and back until I'm heard. James, what happened to you? A year into us knowing each other, I could see that you really believed and understood the dynamics at play in this country. That is the part of you that pulled me in, made me think it was safe to be around you genuinely as myself. You used to walk the walk. I mean, you'd quote Moya Bailey and Trudy of Gradient Lair to people in conversation like they were passages of scripture. You once told me that meeting me was a window into a world you had no comprehension of. I would see you day in, day out, sharing fresh pearls from the journey of your enlightenment. I always appreciated that you never made me the first port of call for all things race. I should have listened to my gut when I could feel you turning. Last March, the last time we went out with the gang and they brought some new people with them. I was talking to Paul and I kept getting distracted by someone absolutely monopolizing decibels behind me. It was a really loud bar anyway. I was convinced it was just some native woke white boy from a red brick uni, burdened with educating the masses about what they did when they volunteered in Uganda. And I turn around and see that it was you. I'm seeing clearly for the first time in a while. And I really am embarrassed for you that this mutation of a friendship went on for as long as it did. I shared my thoughts with you. You encouraged me when I told you what I wanted to do with this thing. Don't get it twisted. I will always be grateful for that, even if it is the bare minimum of what a friend should do. But when the app started getting attention, you started bulldozing me. Subtly at first, a little interruption here, a little comment under a comment there, and before I know it, you're accepting money on my behalf, setting up meetings without me. James, what the fuck? Do you want to know the part I will think about the least after all this? The fact that you used your body and the way I feel about you to cloud my judgment. You really did whore yourself out to me to try take my baby from under my nose. Was it worth it? Little boy, did you think you could pour one over on me because you've seen me naked and your parts were in my parts? Pick your jaw off the floor. Never cross me again. Zip your lip and smile while I tell the truth. Hi, excuse me. I have a correction to make.
So that was final interview by Justina Aina. And because we don't often have like something written by somebody else and performed by another person, I've just got Misha's socials here, so we're not forgetting you, girl. So Misha, who performed the piece there, you can find her Instagram and her Twitter. Again, follow the artist. If you can tip, let me bring you to my fish. If you can tip, our PayPal is paypal.me/for FORT culture WY paypal.me for culture WY. Yeah, that's it. And all donations, all tips are split between each of the artists that week. All right, so who we've got next? All right, so next we've got Justina performing for her damn self. We've got a little. She's a really good singer. So I was like, oh, please, can we add a song? She was like, oh, all right then. But yeah, I really love this piece. So here is Justina Aina performing. I think it's a John Legend song, is it? I believe. Here we go. Hold on now. Hold on.
What's your definition of it? How's it make you feel? Tell me what you'd say that truly makes it real. Kings and queens, philosophers have tried so hard to find. Tell me what it means to you, dear, never mind. Love is kind when the world is cold. Love stays strong when the fight gets old. Love's a shoulder to lean on. Love is you. Love's like the water when the well runs dry. Quench my thirst, keeps me alive. Just one sip, baby. Love is you. 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 Is it possible there is a kiss that's so divine? Or am I just too full? Is it all in my mind? Is there something chemical a scientist might say? Well, love must be a drug to make me feel this way. 'Cause love's my permission to be who I am. Knowing the business 'cause you understand. Freedom to breathe, oh baby, love is you. Love's like a kiss when the sun goes down. Holds me tight when no one's around. Love's what I wanna hold on to. Love is you. Love is you. Oh, love is you. Love is you. Love is you. Love is kind, it makes me stronger. I don't have to look no longer. You're the one I cling to. Love is you. When the chips are down, love will stick around. Oh, I'm so glad I found love is you. Masters have tried to clarify. Love's quite simple, it's just my guide. The perfect definition, love is you. Love is you. Love is you. Love is you. Love is you.
Give it up for Justina, guys. Give it up for that girl. She like I said, she wrote and directed the first piece. She's singing here. I put in the chat, she's a sick actor too. She's a triple, quadruple, quintuplet, sextuplet, 8 octuplet, I don't know what 9 is, 10tuplet threat. She got it going on. Justina is the truth. E2D, that's right. So Bailey P, there's 2 people in here that you need to get involved with. Justina and Brie. You'll see if Bailey's still in. You'll see Brie shortly. Again, follow her socials. She's in the chat. You've got Twitch now. You might as well follow her on Twitch, because I'm going to get her to use it. So go follow everything that she's got. Everything in life. Follow it now. And tip if you can tip, it's paypal.me/fortculture.wy. 50p, a pound, £3 for a coffee. I mean, £3 for a coffee is actually quite cheap. Have you had a coffee in London? Jesus Christ. Tip the girl now. We might be able to buy her a little takeaway or anything. It's just, it's the little things that count. All right, so that's my girl Justina. Moving on next to our next artist is, I'm buying time because I've got that much stuff for this show today because it's been on for so long. I'm trying to scroll through everything, so bear with me. All right, so next we've got Shakara Ahad. She is the sibling of Nick Ahad, who presents the BBC Leeds radio show, Big Nick's Little Show. Nick's a massive champion of black and brown artists in the north. He is a black and brown artist. Well, he's a brown artist. And he worked for the Yorkshire Post, or still does. And he always champions us. And if it wasn't for Nick, nobody would give a shit about us up here, to be honest with you. And this is his sister, Shakara. She's studying at the Conservatoire, I think it's called, isn't it? The Scottish Conservatoire. She's doing performing arts up there. She's doing a master's degree. And this is a Shakespearean piece from Shaq.
Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me with I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favour, I do give lost, for I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second joy, and first fruits of my body. From his presence I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starred most unluckily, is from my breast the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, haled out to murder. Myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Lastly, hurried here, to this place in the open air, before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed, but yet hear this. Mistake me not, no, life, I prize it not a straw, but for mine honour, which I would free if I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping, else but what your jealousies awake. I tell you, 'tis rigour and not law. Your honours all, I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
That was Shakara Ahad and a Shakespearean piece. I've just realised as well that I've forgotten to put on we had captions on that little section, but I've not put on my captions for the show. I'm really, really, really sorry because we do have hearing impaired artists that sometimes watch the show, and that's just not acceptable. So I will fix that for the next show. All right, well done, Shaq. She's got a few more pieces that I'll put in later shows. They're a bit longer, so we didn't have time tonight. But yeah, we'll put some more of her stuff in. Just bigging it up for the North, innit, man? Bigging it up for the North. All right, our next artist is... before we go, remember socials, tipping if you can, all that jazz. Our next artist is Brie. So... Brie, I'm sure Brie was part of, was he Britain's Got Talent, or was it one of them pop idol things Brie did, and he got really far because he's an amazing singer. But you know how the British entertainment industry stays with black people. So, but he's fucking amazing. Hopefully he gets off to America. You know, like black actors or black artists fuck off to America. Because he's amazing. This is a very short piece. I asked him if he'd done a longer piece, but he hadn't. Brie, if you're watching, I need you to do the longer piece, please, so that I can use the whole thing. But it's very poignant. It's very relevant to what's going on at the minute. So here is Brie music.
Swear down, the world is crazy. Remember you're a black man. Standing tall, head up high, champion. Black man. Beautiful, wonderful, incredible. Black man. Royalty, born to be, proud to be. Black man. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Don't give up now, you're a black man. Took a big elbow, bounce back. You can't hold me down, I'm a black man. Oh my man, oh my black man. Come too far for a black man. No, I don't care about them, man. I do my thing, I'm a black man. Oh, the girl, them sugar, the real dandada. There's no other black man. I am royalty, born to be, proud to be a black man. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Don't give up now, you're a black man. Took a big girl, but bounce back. You can't hold me down. I'm a
That is Brie Music. I'm not actually sure where he's based anymore. He used to be based in Middlesbrough, but I know he's got family in London, so he's basically living out of a suitcase like I do. He's an amazing singer, like amazing singer. So anybody who's into music or needs like vocals, hit him up, man, because he's sick. All right, where are we now? Yeah, I thought so. Again, socials. I hope you caught his socials. If you didn't catch his socials, you've all got Twitch accounts now, so you can catch up on all of these videos. If you need to pop out and have a wee or go get something to eat or whatever, you can come back and catch all these videos on catch up. So if you didn't manage to write anybody's socials down, you've got no excuse, because you can go back and find them later. Please follow the artists. I only curate artists that what do I mean to say? I don't want to disparage anybody. I take a lot of time to choose the artists that will be in each show each week, and I really believe these people have got something, and I really would like everybody, if you can, to share follow as many of the artists as you can. I appreciate it. And also share the link. All right, so who we got next? Oh, it happens to be Kathleen Cleaver from the Black Panther Party. So again, if you were with us last week, you will have seen a clip that I tried to have ready for last week for our Black Lives Matter response, but just time and doing the whole show on my own, it wasn't ready, but I've got it ready now. Now, it might look a bit weird because it's me, but I also want you to just open your hearts and open your ears and open your minds to the message that Kathleen Cleaver is putting out, okay? So this is a very poignant piece. It's not satire. It's not done to take the piss. It's done because I really think it's relevant to what's happening right now, and it's something that there's no point reinventing the wheel. If they were doing this fight back then, this speech is from 1973. If they were doing this speech... Yes, Povey! You've just missed Justina. She had two pieces on. You'll get it on catch up. You're on Twitch now. You're on Twitch. Yeah. So really listen to the message. Invest it. Read. Please read. Look at the freedom fighters back in the day. What was their message? What were they portraying? Why were certain people killed? What is it that they were saying? There's no point in us trying to reinvent the wheel. We have to build on what they've already they started. Okay, so here is the Kathleen Cleaver speech.
All power to the people, brothers and sisters. Right on. Apparently, a great confusion has been caused by some so-called Panthers and some so-called revolutionaries that the Black Panther Party had something to do with creating the Afro-American liberation struggle, when in fact it's the other way around. The Afro-American liberation struggle produced the Black Panther Party as a vehicle of its advancement, and as long as that instrument is advancing the struggle, then it's revolutionary and vanguard, and the minute it stops doing that, it's blocking, it's retarding. It is not a vanguard. It is not a relevant organization. We cannot sit here passively and look at these egomaniacs or whatever they want to call themselves go around and parade as if the Black Panther Party belongs to them. Because we know across this country there are hundreds, thousands of black people, poor people, white people, all kinds of people that dedicated something to building the Black Panther Party. The base of that party was the Afro-American black lumpen proletariat in the cities, in the ghettos throughout this country. This was the Black Panther Party. And you have to look at the situation and look what has been done to the Black Panther Party primarily through three forces. You have the outright blatant police attacks. Then you have the police infiltration, and this infiltration is on many levels. Don't you think it's not? From Washington, D.C., the Pentagon, the FBI, the CCI, the IDA, all of them. I don't even know their names, and it's not relevant because it's all different levels and different aspects of pigs, of enemies, all right, that have brought about this split throughout the country. And the final outcome of this has created a tremendous setback, because whether or not you know it, the Black Panther Party was recognized as a vanguard force not only in this country but throughout the world, especially in Africa. And the destruction of the Black Panther Party by these combined forces of agents, of pigs, of jailings, of prisons, of brutalities, of murders, this has really destroyed the Black Panther Party, and they have been cooperated, this process has been collaborated upon by the counter-revolutionary and revisionists, and this is what it is. You see, and this is exactly what they want. They think they got a clear-cut railroad, and this is their final coup of destroying the Black Panther Party, and the Black Panther Party is a name that's irrelevant. You see, what's been going on across this country is a direct confrontation between the revolutionaries in the Panther Party, the military and political revolutionaries in the party, and the police departments. And this is how they operate. They operate this everywhere, and this is why this whole so-called movement is in this present state, because they've terrorized, arrested, convicted, and done all these things to demoralize and have people isolated and confused. And this is just a tactic. You have to realize that these pigs, these imperialist aggressors, these vicious, murderous, barbarous beasts that cause murder, torture, and suffering to the peoples of the world in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, everywhere, and here, this is their headquarters. These people are making a strategic retreat, and they're withdrawing from Asia, and they've made certain arrangements to deal with Latin America. And they have a certain concentration that they're moving on next, and whether you know it or not, you need to, brothers and sisters, you need to. It is Africa. There are liberation forces fighting on the ground in Africa and have been fighting an armed struggle for quite some time. And it should be clear, it is very clear, that it's these forces that are left out of these negotiations and these deals and these great power discussions, you see. It's these forces right here that have to take what they can get, and it's us over here that ain't nobody consulting us about nothing. Nothing, you see. Not even the LAPD and what they're running down on this courthouse, what they're running down throughout this city, and you need to investigate that. You call yourselves students, well, study that. Study reality. Study what's outside of there, you see. Study something that'll help people be able to deal with the situation instead of some trip. Because you can trip on into a concentration camp, baby. We have to recognize that the time is now to intensify our efforts politically, militarily, socially. And at the present time, you see people retreating and de-emphasizing. They're going in the opposite direction. You're going in the direction that these pigs want you to go in. You're giving them a break. While Nixon goes to China and the CIA mercenaries in Angola plot on how to destroy the government of the People's Republic of the Congo, the only Marxist-Leninist state in black Africa. And I think you need to know that there is a direct relationship between our struggles that's on the ground, that's against these forces of repression and aggression and murder that are racist, fascist, imperialist beasts. Now that might sound striking to you, but this is exactly what they are and exactly what they're doing in Vietnam, what they're doing in Korea, what they've done in the Congo, and what they're doing in Los Angeles. And you have to recognize that as a reality. Whether you recognize it or not, that's an objective condition. Whether you call them beasts now or you wait 20 years later and say, oh, children, they were some real beasts. I'm sorry I didn't deal with it then. You know, I mean, ain't nobody waiting on you. I'm just telling you, you see, the situation in Wilmington, North Carolina, where the fascists have just said, well, we're ready for the Civil War. We accept your challenge, you know. Let's deal with it. Let's get it on. And you have to realize that the fascists are preparing this type of thing. Under your noses, they don't give you any information on what you're doing. You turn up one morning and look around and say, oh, you think you're going to the elections. You might be going off into a concentration camp. And we have to recognize in our cities, in our ghettos, in our things that we will be encircled, we will be surrounded. We have to develop tactics and practices that will enable us to survive this stage of the warfare. We have to be in a position to prepare ourselves now to endure the conditions of war that will be visited upon us. You have to recognize that you people here who are capable of doing certain things, you shouldn't be so slack. You see what I'm saying? That there's a lot that can be done that does not call that much from you, if it's nothing more than passing out a leaflet or helping put out a newspaper or getting on the radio or going down to a courtroom. But if you show some concern, you see, because what we're talking about and what we've always talked about is the power of the people, you see? The people have this power to defeat this. It has been demonstrated over 25 years in Vietnam, the tremendous, irresistible power of the people once properly organized, properly directed, educated, and continually elevated to a higher and higher level of struggle. And we have to recognize these dialectics and recognize these phases and identify these things and find out how we ourselves can apply these principles to the situation of Afro-Americans. And like, especially what you mentioned about the minority. We are minority where? In whose kind? I never considered myself a minority. You dig? So you're an Afro-American. So what kind of minority is that? You dig it? How do they define a minority? In whose terms? If you look at the world situation, I mean, all y'all know who the minority is, and so do they, see? So we're not going to even get off into that. It's a numbers game, it's a skin game, and it's a trick. And it ain't the issue. I mean, there has never any type of armed force, any type of political force, any type of governing body. It's a minority. Who runs this country? A minority. But they don't tell them because you're a minority, you can't run the country. You see? The ruling class is the minority, and let's focus in on that. The people are in the majority. The pigs is uptight, and they got the people tricked and deprived of many material necessities. And this is why we have to start right here, and the people that have these certain material things, they just share them, you see? Because we all need them. Am I making myself clear? All right, then. And as we understand, repression breeds resistance, and resistance breeds repression. People dare to struggle, dare to win. All power to the people, brothers and sisters.
So that's the Kathleen Cleaver piece, kind of almost as perfect as I want it. Damn it. Try to put my socials in this goddamn thing.
Brothers and sisters.
Power to the people, brothers and sisters. So she's talking about 1973. Oh, we're nearly at 50 followers, guys. We're nearly at affiliate. All right. So let me just finish this Kathleen Cleaver thing and I'll tell you what affiliate is. Well done, woman. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the speech, she's talking, I mean, you heard, she's talking about fascists rising in popularity, fascism rising in popularity. She's talking about police brutality. You know, pretty much the same shit we're dealing with today. Okay, and what is she asking for? She's asking for us to work together, okay? And I'm not dismissing anything. Black Lives Matter, man. That's it. I mean, I'm black. I'm a lighty black, but I'm black, right? So I'm not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is to defeat fascism, there's only one way to defeat fascism, and that's everybody working together, man. So I'm not telling us, I'm telling white people, you need to get your act together. We've been telling you for the longest. We all have to defeat fascism. You have to be on the same side. Okay. And I'm saying that to my mama, and she sat right there. Get your act together, girl. Go tell your people. No, but seriously, yeah, it's time to get to grips with reality. Like I said, that police officer who was in the fascist march last week, shit's getting scary. Shit's getting serious. Coronavirus shit is real. Like, get on the same page. All right, so we have that is sadly the end of our FTC section. It's a very short FTC show tonight. It's because I've got so much other things going on. So let me just come to my thanks for that week. Okay, so hold on. Let me where are they? I'm usually really organised, but it's just been a bit of a crazy week. Well, how about you, chat? Like, I've not slept. When I tell you I have not slept, I mean I've not slept. Like not that I'm like getting less sleep. I'm not sleeping. I'm not getting to sleep till 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and then I'm getting up at like 10, 11. It's crazy right now. I can't. Hold tight, Shazia, for trying to help me get some sleeping aids, sleeping like meditations and whatnot. All right, so we had some wonderful donors for our last show, so we shout out our donors. Thank you to Emma, thank you to Martel, thank you to Kirsty, and thank you to Stephanie, and this is specially for our donors.
First attempt at a eHarmony video. I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. So I'm just gonna start talking about what I like. I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just wanna hug all of them, but I can't hug every cat. Can't hug every cat. So anyway, I am a cat lover and I love to run. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about cats again. I really love cats. I'm thinking about cats again and again and again and again and again. I think about how many don't have a home and how I should have them. I think about how cute they are and how their ears and the whiskers and the nose. I just love them, and I want them, and I want them in a basket, and I want little bow ties. I just love them, and I want them to be on a rainbow, and in my bed, and I just want us to roll around, round. Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
So that is a thank you to everybody who donated to the artist last week. Again, Emma, Martel, Kirsty, Stephanie, thank you so much for donating to our artists. If you can donate to the artists, our PayPal is paypal.me/fortculturewy. But if you can't, follow their socials. Love cats. I hate cats, but I love these remixes. The last one we had was damn. All right, so we've come to the end of FTC, but that's not the end of the stream. As you know, we are going all day, baby. What have we got now? Let me see. Let me put some deep house back on. So thank you to our artists. Thank you to Justina. Thank you to Bree. Thank you to Shaq. Thank you to Wesley. Thank you to everybody for watching. What have we got on the schedule now? Let's